No greeting, no easing in, just this. In January 2022, Impractical Jokers fans noticed something strange. Not only had Joe Gatto abruptly left the show, but several episodes featuring him in physically intimate or compromising challenges were suddenly gone. Quietly removed, no explanation, no announcement, just erased. And then a TikTok surfaced. A woman claiming Joe had invited her to his hotel room after a show, using vanish mode messages that disappeared. She said she didn't want to show the screenshots because they're gone, but insisted the encounter changed how she saw him forever. Joe responded, saying he had used poor judgment and violated the trust of people he cared about, while firmly denying any criminal wrongdoing. But here's the part we're not going to reveal until the end of this video. There's one specific incident, one message exchange, that insiders say was the real reason Joe left the show when he did. And we will get to that. Stay with me. Long before the scandals, Impractical Jokers was a cultural comfort show. 4 lifelong best friends, Joe, Q, Sal, and Murr, daring each other to embarrass themselves in public, but always with one rule. The joke was never supposed to be on the stranger. It was always on each other. This is what made the show different from mean-spirited prank TV. The targets were everyday people reacting to absurd behavior, but the humiliation stayed within the group. Viewers felt like they were watching their own friend group goof off in public. The dynamic was simple. Joe, the fearless one. Q, the sarcastic disruptor. Sal, the anxious reactor. Murr, the eager-to-please wildcard. The chemistry felt real because it was. Decades of friendship, shared history, familiar rhythms, and audiences trusted them because of that authenticity. They weren't characters performing for fame. They were friends who let the public in on the joke. That trust is important because everything that happens later breaks that trust in different ways. And it starts with an Instagram post. On December 31st, 2021, Joe Gatto posted a statement to Instagram. He said he and his wife were separating and he needed to step away from Impractical Jokers to focus on co-parenting their 2 children. It sounded personal, mature, and private. Fans supported him. But 2 weeks later, viewers noticed something they weren't prepared for. Episodes featuring Joe in shirtless, physically intimate, or body contact challenges were suddenly removed from truTV's official streaming catalog, HBO Max's episode library, multiple international reruns. These included Stripped of Dignity, Joe undressing in public, Bullshiatsu, Joe giving massage chair strangers massages, Sunfan Lotion, Joe asking strangers to rub sunscreen on him, The Dreamcrusher, Joe must kiss the planted actress to win. No explanation was given. Fans debated. Was the network protecting Joe's image? Was Joe protecting his family? Or was this a quiet attempt to distance him from content that would look worse later? The mystery created a vacuum. And online, vacuums never stay empty. They get filled. The Dreamcrusher episode became the focal point of speculation. In the challenge, Joe believed he was going to kiss a hired actress. He appeared enthusiastic about it, even calling her attractive. Then, Joe's wife, who had been invited to appear in the episode, walked out unexpectedly mid-challenge. Joe's confidence visibly collapsed. Fans who believed Joe was a devoted family man interpreted this moment as emotional vulnerability. They saw the marriage as sacred and anything threatening it as antagonistic. So later, when the separation announcement came, many fans refused to believe Joe played any role in the breakup. They immediately villainized his wife. Memes, comments, conspiracy threads. Fans said things like, "She ruined his life. She took everything from him. He was too good for her." But this wasn't based on evidence. It was based on the parasocial illusion that Joe was their wholesome friend, incapable of doing harm. This illusion would be tested soon. Fans began digging into past conversations online, and one resurfaced from 2017 on Reddit. A user posted a selfie with Murr, but it wasn't the photo that caught attention. It was the comment below it. The commenter claimed that she and her roommate had spoken to Joe on Snapchat. She said Joe called them multiple times, joked that they should have a pillow fight, invited them to his hotel room, ended the call when he realized one of them was recording. The tone of the original post was light. The commenter even said Joe was fun to talk to. But after Joe's exit, the same post was reinterpreted as evidence of a behavioral pattern. Another anecdote emerged from someone claiming to have worked near True TV production. They said Joe frequently flirted with women at events and used the fact that he didn't drink as leverage to stay in control in those situations. None of this was proven. None of it was illegal. But once perception shifts, everything gets reevaluated through the new lens. And perception was about to shift even harder. When Joe left, True TV announced the show would continue with guest comedians. But the numbers told a different story. Joe's final episode, 420,000 viewers. The first episode without him, 210,000 viewers. The next, 170,000, a nearly 60% audience drop in weeks. It became clear how much the show relied on Joe's energy, that fearless, unpredictable silliness. Without him, the group dynamic changed. Less chaos, less shock humor, more scripted feeling setups. Fans didn't turn on the remaining jokers. They just drifted. But then, something else happened. In March 2025, a TikTok went viral, and the situation shifted from a fandom conversation to a public misconduct controversy. A TikTok user named Hope posted a video describing an encounter with Joe. She claimed they met at a restaurant. Joe invited her to a comedy show. After the show, he invited her to his hotel room. He switched to Instagram vanish mode so the messages would disappear. She did not display screenshots. She did not describe the encounter in explicit detail. But she said the experience left her uncomfortable and disappointed. The internet split immediately. Some accused her of clout chasing. Others said the vanish mode detail was too specific to fabricate. Joe responded. His statement, "I used poor judgment and violated the trust of the people I love most. I would never assault anyone he denied criminal wrongdoing." But he confirmed something else. He had been meeting women privately. And that admission broke the parasocial illusion for many fans. But this was only the first allegation. It wouldn't be the last. Next, two young fans, Briana and Grace, posted their own story. They claimed they met Joe backstage at a show. He gave them extra tickets to a second show, then a third. Each time, the interaction became more personal. They shared photos with Joe backstage. A $100 bill he gave them for traveling. Text messages, they say, were him inviting them to a nearby hotel. They stated clearly, nothing criminal happened. But they also said, Joe asked them to lift their shirts so he could touch their stomachs. Joe asked for videos of them kissing each other. Joe asked them to come to his hotel room late at night. They said they declined. Their message wasn't, "He's a predator." Their message was, "He crossed the line with fans." And he was married. After this, Joe canceled tour dates and checked himself into inpatient treatment for personal accountability. Public sympathy shifted, not to anger, but to disappointment. Then attention shifted to another joker, James Murray. Two women came forward online. Both claimed they were teenagers when they began messaging him. Both presented screenshots. One showed photo booth pictures of them kissing. Both acknowledged they were near or under 18. Neither accused him of a crime. Both described the interactions as inappropriate. One wrote, "I acted older than I was." He knew and kept going. Murr has never publicly responded. This silence became its own interpretation. Some fans said if it were false, he'd deny it. Others said his lawyers likely told him to say nothing. And the remaining jokers, Q and Sal, also remained silent, not supporting Joe, not condemning him, not addressing Murr, just silence. Which, for a show built entirely on friendship, felt like the final fracture. Here's the moment we teased at the start. According to multiple insiders quoted anonymously in industry trade outlets, the real tipping point wasn't the TikTok allegations. It wasn't the pillow fight story. It wasn't the hotel invites. It was a warning. True TV executives were reportedly informed, privately, that if more fan encounters came to light, the network could be implicated for failing to act sooner. The concern wasn't morality optics, even public reaction. It was potential legal liability. The timing matters. Joe left before the public allegations surfaced, before TikTok, before the headlines. The theory is simple. Joe stepped away voluntarily to avoid dragging his friends and the network through legal exposure. The network quietly removed episodes that could be reinterpreted negatively. The remaining jokers stayed silent to protect the brand. And after that, the magic was gone. So now I want to hear from you. Do you believe Joe stepped away out of genuine accountability, to avoid a public scandal, or to protect the others? And do you think Impractical Jokers can ever recover its original identity? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every one. If you want more deep dive investigations like this, tap like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what we're uncovering next. Thanks for watching.